Samsung AI Center Toronto and York University are excited to present our work Multispectral Demosaicing via dual cameras. Most cameras use a sensor equipped with an RGB Bayer filter array. It captures 3 color channels and is efficient but limited in spectral information. On the other hand, multispectral sensors use multispectral filter arrays to capture more spectral bands. They provide richer data but suffer from lower spatial sampling resolution and higher cost. Multispectral sensors are useful for tasks that require fine spectral detail, like material classification or remote sensing, and recent works like Beyond RGB show their potential. However, multispectral sensors have downsides. They capture at a lower spatial sampling resolution per channel and are harder to deploy in practice. This motivates our approach. We aim to use RGB sensors which have higher spatial sampling resolutions to guide the demosaicing of multispectral sensors. To study this, we create a real-world dual-camera RGB multispectral dataset and propose a learning-based reconstruction method. To train our method, we build a dual-camera dataset with paired RGB and multispectral images. Each sample includes 4 images: an RGB mosaic, an RGB ground truth, a multispectral mosaic, and a multispectral ground truth. The dataset consists of 502 samples captured using our dual-camera imaging setup. Our imaging system directly captures ground truth demosaiced images through the use of a camera with a pixel shift sensor. Also, the RGB and multispectral images are captured with a fixed baseline to recreate the misalignment that would arise in a dual camera setup. To collect our dataset, we construct a dual camera RGB multispectral imaging system. The imaging system is composed of a camera mounted on a linear stage actuator and a controllable illumination box with staged scenes. In our dual camera imaging system, the stage moves the camera between 2 fixed positions to simulate an asymmetric dual camera setup. Given 2 adjustable positions on the stage actuator, our system captures the RGB demosaiced image at one position and the ground truth multispectral demosaiced image at the other. The setup simulates a dual camera system with a fixed baseline between the 2 viewpoints. From these ground truth images, we simulate mosaics using a 2x2 Bayer color filter array for RGB and a 4x4 multispectral filter array for multispectral. Noise is also added using a calibrated Poisson-Gaussian noise model. Capturing RGB is straightforward. We set the illumination box to emit D65 daylight and capture a single image. Multispectral images are simulated by capturing the scene under multiple narrowband illuminations. Each combination of light source and camera color filter mimics a spectral filter in a multispectral filter array. Specifically, we control the illumination box and capture a scene under 7 primary wavelengths. These 7 illuminations, when combined with the RGB response function of the camera, form a 21-channel multispectral image. We then reduce it to 16 channels by discarding 5 low-information bands. This gives us a realistic multispectral demosaiced image, as if it was captured with a multispectral sensor. Existing multispectral datasets lack demosaiced ground truth images, which limits their use for training demosaicing methods. In contrast, our dataset provides high-quality ground truth from spectrally diverse scenes consisting of challenging, high-frequency content, making it well-suited for developing and evaluating early-stage onboard camera processing. Here are some example images. For the RGB multispectral dual camera scenario, we train our model using the proposed dataset, where the RGB image guides the demosaicing of the multispectral mosaic by providing high spatial detail. To handle geometric misalignment between RGB and multispectral images, we incorporate a cross-spectral disparity estimation module that aligns RGB features to multispectral using a spectral invariant representation. We also include a multi-scale spectral fusion module that integrates high-fidelity spatial details from the RGB image into the multispectral demosaiced output. Under a symmetric setup where RGB and multispectral sensors are zoomed to have the same resolution, our method produces sharper multispectral reconstructions than baseline methods. In asymmetric cases where the multispectral sensor is zoomed to have a lower resolution than the RGB sensor, our method enhances spatial detail in the multispectral demosaiced output while maintaining spectral consistency, outperforming existing methods. For additional details and results along with access to data and code, please visit our project page.